I'm not allowed to leave the country after that assassination attempt.
I mean, you can, I forget, you can go into Canada and back in without a passport, but you need like a driver's license and some special ID.
And a
And
can-do attitude.
and you might be able to get back in the country without a passport from Mexico because you're like a pretty fly white guy, but I don't know the rules there. But yeah, hello. I haven't seen you since before the election, and we've
Yeah.
had a couple weeks to process. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming that you didn't vote for Trump. If you did,
Yeah.
congratulations. If you didn't, I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
guess.
I mean, I'm not surprised. No, obviously I did not vote for Trump, but I'm not surprised that he did win because history has shown that it's quite possible. It's just sad that the Democratic Party is just such a flop always.
I mean, maybe we should switch parties. So I started paying attention to politics around 2001 when I was like in fourth grade and like, the 9/11 happened. And at the time, George Bush Jr., whatever, was in power. And he got reelected for a second term whenever that was, 2004 or whatever.
Yeah, which is crazy.
hmm And then it was Obama for 8 years. And then it was Trump, right?
Yeah.
Trump for four, Biden for four, now Trump for four again. So, that's quite balanced in the last 20 years. Two Republican terms, two Democrat terms, one Republican, one Democrat. So, for all intents and purposes, everyone's just taking their fair turn.
Right. I feel like that's not a very good way to lead the country, though, because it seems like things will just get reversed, and then like everything just becomes much terrible.
Right. Because the
Went from
reversal
worse
is
to
always
worse.
terrible.
Yeah.
This would not happen if we were not like a two-party system state.
Yeah.
It takes 2 points to make a line, but it takes 3 points to make a plane, at least. And that's
True.
what's that study? That's geometry basics. So, you can't have true balance in the three-dimensional realm with only 2 points of view. You need at least three.
Yeah. I think that I don't know. It's just such a mess.
I'm a little worried for the prosecution of marginalized people. Obviously, the queer people are like the main target here, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, pregnant women are, of course, they have something more to worry about, but just the criminalization of your sexuality is like a fear. And knowing that history repeats itself or whatever, and like events like the Holocaust taught to us in schools and like those things, and it's like really like again, it's 2024, we have the internet, like everyone watches T-girl porn and we're still doing this. Why?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I'm like, I just don't understand what there is to like about Donald.
He
Like,
tells it like it is, and he's not the establishment, and he's gonna make America great again. So America's gonna be great again pretty soon.
but,
Again.
like, some would think that a reality television star is perhaps worse than an administration. I just don't understand why some random celebrity they think would be like a better option. Like, I guess I kind of get it, but I'm like, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. The logic, like, wouldn't you want someone at least smart? But I guess that's kind of the antithetic. They don't want that,
Right, because the masses want someone they can relate to, and obviously they can't relate to coherent people.
which is why Biden defeated Trump last time. They're like, yeah, whatever.
It's like he makes no sense. I like him.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just looking so grim, but I'm trying to remain positive.
Yes, like it's not going to be an overnight extermination of the gays and the transes. It's going to be a systemic oppression, and we keep it going, it'll get worse. And then if we are able to get those ideas out of the public mind in the future, then we'll be okay. because Trump will never be able to get reelected because he can only do 2 terms. But
But
what
what
if
if he changes that?
he cannot? That would be really fucking with the Constitution, and then one might argue, well, why are you changing that, but not like the Second Amendment? I think he would have like a really, I mean, yeah, right. Like nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible when you're like a rich white guy. So we'll see. I'm
Right.
optimistic also, but who knows?
I don't know. We're kind of like fucked no matter what because like the Supreme Court just sucks as like a concept in general.
That could change. Did you hear about Mexico's new Supreme Court procedures?
No.
I may not do a great job at explaining this, but the one of the last things that the Mexican president, because they just got a new president, Mexico got her first women president,
I
and
know.
yeah,
She's really killing it.
I know she is cunty. But right before the election, the president AMLO, one of his last like major changes was that from now on, like judicial branches are publicly elected. So the people are nominated by like the Senate and the president, but the people eventually vote on them. So those terms
Right.
are more democratic, if you will. And there was pushback on that, because people were like, well, how are the people going to know that it's the best? But that was the whole point, because the system was so corrupt, so full of like nepotism and like connections and like just not in the best interest of the population. So that's why they updated it. So I bring this up to say that yes, the Supreme Court is a concern, but that can be changed. Well, who's that judge who's like under fire for being like corrupt? Like, no one should be immune, especially the highest court. So, I hope that the people are smart enough. And if the people who voted for Trump exactly because they said that he was going to change the system and like be a refresher among the corruption of like the last whatever 20, 30 years, they might be on board with changing the Supreme Court rules. But
I don't understand. At least Mexico seems to be doing really good.
yep, she's doing fine. Trade is going well. The peso is not doing so well in terms of like value to the dollar, but that's good for me as someone who earns dollars for a living. I mean, it was sad, but like right after the election results, the peso plummeted compared to the dollar. So I've been like transferring money to my account because it yields more for me. So I know I am a
Mexico, here I
capitalist pig.
come.
Literally, and I got money.
Like, help me. Trump deport me. Force me. Choose me. Pick me. But the president said, I'm not taking any deportations unless they're from Mexico.
Which makes sense. Like, why
Right.
would you?
Well, also,
You
like,
know?
I didn't know that that was like a thing. Like, I don't know.
Right. You deal with them. Like, no, you may not access. What are you gonna do?
Like, what?
They're not allowed in the country. Like, are you gonna put them in like holding cells like all the other brown immigrants? Or
Right.
are you gonna call whatever country they're from and be like, hey, you have a delivery here that we can't get to ya. Come get it? Are they gonna
Right.
fight? No, of course not. They're just gonna like lock them up and like it's gonna be a holding cell, and the news are gonna make a big deal out of it because no one said anything when Biden had like immigrants in holding cells for his entire term because they were talking about it when Trump did, but then the Democrats took over and like that didn't stop, so it was okay because we didn't hear about it. So
Right.
it'll
Well,
be it'll be interesting.
that's what I'm like so confused about because I'm like, I'm pretty sure Biden was even worse about like immigration and like deportations than Trump was, which like is like just one of the many reasons that I hate Joe Biden. But they like the Trump voters don't think that. They're like, that's not true. But I'm like, oh, you're just so completely uneducated that like you're just going to make assumptions. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's not okay when the other side does it. So
Like, I just,
maybe we should just move to Mexico. I mean,
well, yes.
you work remotely. You can go wherever you want.
I know. I might be getting a postgraduate certificate too.
What? Wait, what? What does that entail?
I am doing like I don't know the verbiage, but it's like a certificate for like sustainability reporting and shit. But it's like a grad school level, so it would count towards a master's degree, but it's only like one semester.
Is that through like a school online or?
Yeah, it's through Loyola here in Chicago, but it's all
Oh,
online.
Well, congratulations regardless. That's really cool.
Yeah, I filed my financial aid thing. I'm like, I don't remember how to do any of this.
Yay, that's really cool. I told you I would gift you your passport, and I will.
Oh,
If
true.
you make your appointment, I will send you the money.
Oh, true. I need to look up flights to Mexico too.
So I won a fancy bottle of tequila at a raffle last night, and I'm just like downing it today, which is not good. Yeah, but no. So
You know, it's the sign of the times. It's winter. Oh, I love that shot
it
glass.
is. Alex Dennison gave me this.
It's very Delta work. I love it. I'll have to
Oh my
let you
god.
know.
I appreciate I'm so proud of Delta for like getting her podcast off the ground. She is
So
a smooth
funny.
talker, okay? Like I do enjoy what she has to say.
She has a way with words and a way with frying the small fish.
Truly an inspiration. So that's what I aspire us to be.
I mean, my God, her mind is massive.
Sooner than later she'll be on The View.
She should have her own like Wendy Williams style on major network daytime. Those
She
are
kind
work.
of already does. And I would argue that at this point in history, doing your own being self-produced on the internet is better than being network controlled. Because sure,
Yeah,
maybe the network gets you like wider distribution, but you can reach the entire world on the internet and do whatever the hell you want. You're not gonna say whatever, and then the producer calls you the next day and says, "Hey, you can't do this anymore, or we're gonna like cancel your show." So power to Delta
Delta's not very good at
holding
uh
back.
do receiving orders for anything. So I think you might be onto something there. I don't know. I think she would have to be the executive producer.
Exactly. I don't think the networks can handle Delta, and I mean that as a compliment.
Right.
She is a liability, and I mean that again in like the best way possible.
Love Delta work.
One day we'll have her as a guest.
That would be so good. But I don't know. I'm also kind of scared of Delta.
Why?
Just because like I would have to come to her show because I feel like she's constantly like, I need to know the entirety of what's going to happen. Otherwise, I'm not doing it. And I'll say, I'm cool, and then leave.
Yeah, you can walk out of her show, but she can't really walk out of yours.
I don't know if I could walk out of her show.
Oh.
I would be a sacrificial lamb for the Delta work mission.
Are the rumors true that she chains her guests to the couch and they can't go till their contractual time is filled?
Well, I guess we don't know for sure, but by like some of the sweat beads that come out of their forehead, it does seem like some of them have been there for a while.
Kidnapping is a crime. I'm not saying Delta is a criminal, but I'm saying she might have broken the law, bordering human trafficking.
Yeah. Speaking of kidnapping, I watched the John Waters movie Cecil B. Demented this weekend. It is so fucking funny. It's like Melanie Griffith plays this like actress in her like 40s or something, and she's like a movie star or whatever, and she gets abducted by these like indie film vigilantes who are their mission is to destroy mainstream cinema.
Film
So
students.
yeah, they like have this van where like they're shooting a movie, but it's all like real people, and they run out, they swing the door open to the van, and then they run out, and then they just shoot it there, and a lot of people get shot for some reason. It's so fucking funny. But oh, and then she develops what's that fucking what is that? It's based off Patty Hearst and like when Stockholm syndrome. And then she's like, oh, okay, yeah, like eventually she's like really on board. And then Patty Hearst is a character in the movie. Like she plays someone's mom, like one of like the kids in the movie's mom.
Is this a new John Waters film?
No, it's from 2000.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's by I don't know. It's weird because it's kind of similar to Crybaby in a way where it's like a John Waters film, but it's clearly the budget is being delivered by like a major film company. So like Maggie Gyllenhaal is in it, but then like Ricky Lake and Mink Stole are in it too for a little bit. So it's very new school John Waters meets old school usual, and it's really good.
That's fascinating. Wait, so is
Mhm.
that like his latest film? Because I thought he was retired. I actually don't know what he's done in the 2000s other than this one you're mentioning now.
So he just published a novel called Liar Mouth, and he's trying to find funding for that with Aubrey Plaza, but it's hard for them to find the funding, I think, to get like the movie produced. But
Really?
Isaiah bought a copy of the book, and it arrived last night actually after we got done hanging out, and it was $5. And he opens it like after he got home at 11 p.m. and it has his signature on the front page.
It's a signed copy?
Mhm.
What?
Yeah, it says JW.
Man.
Yeah, how funny is that?
Ooh. I didn't know John Waters was struggling that bad. I thought he was like a gajillionaire.
I think he's I don't know. I think he really likes being out and about. So I'm sure he did like a gigantic press tour for it. He's come to Iowa City how many times?
Yeah.
I think he does like appearances constantly, and there's like so many people are like, oh yeah, I saw John Waters at this show, whatever, and we were backstage, and it was weird being like, oh my god, like that's John Waters. It'll be like an Orville Puck show, and then like John Waters is in the backstage with like I don't know, like Katya or something. It's weird.
Okay, that's some star-studded shit. So, of course, but yay, good for him.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
It's not. I'm not surprised. Like you said,
But
he's come to Iowa City a bunch of times. So like, yeah, he does like being out and about, and I appreciate that. Like, I'm a big John Waters fan from like this standpoint of someone who doesn't take themselves too seriously and like
mm,
likes their fans and like he's big enough, but he's also like he doesn't have to worry about security detail. He's not gonna get ambushed by fans. So yeah, no, he's
yeah.
cool. He's goals.
I think he's also just kind of I don't know, with all like his movies, I think he'd be like, it'd be pretty cool to be assassinated. Like with the amount of assassinations in all of his movies, like it seems to be one of his things. He likes to go into really dangerous places. Regardless, I think he does like a meet and greet after every event he does. So I'm not surprised that there's just like a signature in the book. He's everywhere.
Hey, if you want to be assassinated, you make an anti-Muslim film.
Well, but I think actually Serial Mom came out after Cecil B. Demented, so I don't think it's his last film.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Serial Mom. I don't know that one either.
You have to watch both of those. They're both really good.
Yeah. I do need to watch all of John Waters' filmography. I've only seen like the OGs, the Pink Flamingos, and is that it? Oh my god, I'm a bad fan. Should I even call myself a fan?
No, I think that's normal. Pink Flamingos is the most famous one. It's probably the best one too.
Oh, okay. Then I've seen it all.
But they all have different flavors, but sort of the same kind of mission statement. Just being like evil, naughty little critter.
Yeah, you can tell it's a John Waters film.
But Serial Mom is also funny because it's like this middle-aged woman, this mom, this suburban mom, is secretly a serial killer, but she doesn't want anyone to know. And one of the things she does is like she has this one neighbor on the block that she hates, and she'll prank call them and be like, "Your mother sucks people's cocks in hell, you dirty bitch." And then I don't know, it's just so funny. You have to watch it. It's really entertaining. There's so many different scenarios.
So they might be banning TikTok in the US again.
Thank God.
And okay, we have 23 followers on TikTok. When I go to Mexico, I think I'm gonna get like a smartphone down there, and hopefully I'll be able to still use TikTok. We're okay.
Love
Mhm.
kind of stuff.
This is our last chance to hang, unless you come down to Mexico in the next 3 months. So, which you totally should.
I know. That's what's always so hard. I feel like flights to Mexico are so much more expensive, but I don't know if it's true.
Well, it depends on the time of year. The only reason I'm waiting till next week to leave is I was gonna be gone now, but the flights were so expensive, especially this Thanksgiving week, that I was like, ugh, No. So
Yeah.
get this. I'm flying out on Monday and I'm flying in business class for the first time in my life. And that flight
Oh, really?
was mhm, it cost me less than my flight from last year, which I booked like a week before I flew out. And yeah, this one was cheaper and it was like business class. If you look at flights in December, they're so expensive. If you look at flights in January,
Yeah.
February, a lot cheaper. Flying out on Mondays, I find is cheaper than any other day of the week. And you with your job, you can bring your computer and you can work from down there. So you can stay as long as you want.
Bring my computer on a plane?
Yeah, why not?
What if it gets broke?
Why would it?
If they
Oh, okay.
blow the luggage?
Maybe you want to bring the tower on as a carry-on and everything else in the suitcase. You don't have to bring the monitor. We can provide a monitor down there.
Interesting.
So all you need is like the tower and the mouse and the keyboard. And even then, like I have a mouse you can use.
Oh, true.
So point is, you work remotely, bro. You can go anywhere and stay there as long as you want. So
I wish I had a laptop. That would be so much easier.
I mean, I know they're weird at your company about laptops, but maybe you request one and that will be easier.
True. I don't know, they're like kind of in a flop era right now. A lot of
Sorry.
drama.
Really? You don't have to go into detail, but I love juicy details.
Like, I don't know, they've just been acting really weird. And like another worker like went missing and like they never cared to explain like, oh, she doesn't work here anymore. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why would you not like tell people like, hey, so and so doesn't work here anymore? And I brought it up to him and then he just did not say anything about it and changed the subject. Which is
Ooh.
weird because normally like he'll kind of be a little more open about stuff and be like, just don't say I told you anything or something. Which is also like, why? There's 15 people that work here.
Juicy deets. Oh my god. I hope she didn't get murdered or whoever this coworker of yours is.
I don't know. I have no clue what happened.
Dude, drama-filled remote workspace.
I know. I'm like, okay, if I can just stick it out. Power to the people. Yeah, so hopefully I can help the environment.
What do you want to do?
I don't know. I think this is just kind of like stemming off of what I know already. It would be like making plans for businesses to use less utility services going forward, like waste streams, gas, electric, water, all that.
That is exciting. Dude, energy consumption is like the measurement of human progress.
True.
Have you seen that video? There's this YouTube channel called Kruger Scott or something like that. Didn't pronounce it right, but they have a really interesting video on like the scaling of society and how you measure the basically the size of a civilization based on how much energy they use. So
Oh,
like a type 1 civilization uses so much energy, a type 2 civilization, type 3 blah 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 blah. And like right now we are a type I forget. We're type 1 or we're type 2, I think, where we're able to just use the energy from our own planet. The next level up is a civilization that can use up all the energy from their home star. And then the
home
next
star?
level up, yeah, like the sun. So if we're able to like capture all of the
Mm.
energy from the sun, then we're type 2 or 3 or whatever. And then the
Uh,
next level up is a civilization who is able to garner and use energy from other stars outside of their solar system. That's how you know that they're like really unfuckwittable.
Ew.
Who? Other civilizations. Okay, so there's like
Like other planets?
other suns, other solar systems. So like a civilization that is like colonized for lack of a better term, their entire solar system. So like if we were the ones to like take all the energy from the sun, as much energy from the sun as possible via like a massive device or some other way, then we're good. If we figure out how to take energy from another star somewhere else and then bring it over here, then we're moving our way up. It's a really interesting video.
How do they know if other civilizations are using energy from different universes?
This is all theoretical, but it's like it's a measure of like the one measure of like the power of your civilization is how much energy you're able to use.
Right. Which I started off on, but then you lost me when it got to aliens.
Can I show you the video? Is this like something we
No.
can do on the pod? No? Come on. It's like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's forever.
Dan, we've never watched a video on the pod. We should do it now.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's space theory. Would you fuck an alien?
No.
What if they were hot?
Then yes. I'm just like, who cares about aliens? They're so far away.
Yet so close.
No.
No. Okay. My question is, as someone who is an expert in energy consumption analytics, did this make sense? Does this check out? Is this stupid?
It makes sense. It makes perfect sense, but it's useless.
Useless as in, like, yeah, I mean, someone could watch this and then we can't do anything about it. But good theory, bad theory, what do you mean by useless, I guess?
It's useless because the nearest inhabitable planet is so far away that it's just not useful to even like pontificate about it. Like transportation within space is just so physically far to get from one place to the next that it's just 99% of the time so theoretical. It's just like, why do I care? You know what I mean?
You are correct, and that is a challenge because, yeah, like you said, the distances are so far apart. But think back to like 200 years when we like invented horses. That's when we like started getting around faster, and then after the horse came the train, or I guess the horse-drawn carriage, which is still a horse. Then we got the train, then we got the automobile, and then we got the plane. Now we have rocket ships. So I think it's safe to assume that we will figure that out, and we will invent faster ways of transportation in the next couple hundred years. That's my optimistic approach. I mean, you are correct. Like light years are so far, but a couple hundred years ago, the freaking Mormons had to walk all the way to Utah, but now they can drive or take a plane and spread their word.
Yeah.
I get my point is like there's so much that we haven't invented yet which makes me not worry about the current state of modes of transportation.
We're just not anywhere even close to figuring out travel that's so fast. And there's like a physical limit to how fast something can go. So if there is a way for us to get to the nearest Earth, like within a human lifetime, we're nowhere near close to figuring it out. Whereas like there were like ideas and like plans and like hypotheticals about like creating a computer, creating an AI, doing all that, like long before it actually existed. There's like nothing. There's no like teleportation that can be created.
Not yet. But that's what the video said. Maybe we're too focused on going outward in space when we should be looking at something else. I mean, we're already on this planet. Why could we not go below Earth, for example?
I knew you were gonna be like, we need to go inside the Earth and get the mole people. If we join together, we're unstoppable, and our slayage will be not just cubed, but multiplied over and over and over again. So much so, our brains will get so heavy, we will teleport to the nearest Earth.
Exactly. We need to breed with the mole people.
That's you. Have you ever seen a Neanderthal in the same place as a human? That's because they're underground.
I love me any Neanderthal featured hunk. Oh, dude, I want the brow to go like 2 inches above the nose.
Isn't Ireland like the most Neanderthal country? The UK?
Is it? I never heard that before.
I
What does
think
that mean?
the Neanderthals went to Europe and Asia, and then I'm trying to think of Homo erectus. I don't know, but the Homo sapiens were um, created in a lab in Africa.
All I know is that the dinosaurs were giant chickens and they all died. You know, the entire planet could just like go extinct. Like again, a meteorite could wipe out an entire civilization, an entire species, like billions of humans, just like that. And we're worried about like gas prices and like politics and trans people using like the wrong bathroom. And like one of my biggest fears is like the earth losing its magnetic field all of a sudden because of like a solar pulse or whatever. Then what do? There's no warning, and then we all die.
I thought it had a magnetic pulse because it was made of metal in the core.
We have metal in the core. I guess I shouldn't say like magnetic field. I should say the atmosphere. Like think of like when you have a dandelion and you blow on it and like all the things go like that. The seeds being our atmosphere, the breath being like something, a big electromagnetic explosion from like a faraway star or a nearby star that all of a sudden just evaporates our atmosphere. What do? We don't have oxygen. We all fucking die instantly. And there goes the planet.
All the old people with oxygen masks will have to repopulate the earth. I'm so sorry, Ethel, but you are putting that baby in there and you're going to do your best
Oh my god.
because that's what it will take.
This is where my fantasy of being the retirement home slut comes into play. And I will be able to help.
Miracles happen.
Hmm.
Maybe you are going to be the next Joseph.
Ah, I could be the next Adam.
Yeah, true. It's apple time. Who wants to do the apple dance tonight?
No,
After I said like
I
all the
heard this
old
before.
I just think of like this like 98-year-old woman in a wheelchair, like slowly like moving her wheelchair like across like a lab that has like hundreds of babies like growing in like tubes.
Yeah, those are all your babies. Irma, you're gonna be a mom of 100.
Why can't humans just become androids? Like, why can't we be half machine?
Oh, we will. I think that's coming up. Because what's that theory? Not theory, but like, when the mitochondria became a part of the cell, that was like not original. Like two organisms merged, and then life happened after that. That's like, this has a name. Like, obviously, I don't know it, but that's what's next. Like the great merger of organisms into a new life form is that's evolution basically. So what's next for us, in my uneducated opinion, is the merger of digital slash like man-made non-biological components essentially becoming part of an organism. So yeah, we're gonna become androids. That's the way of survival. We already have androids. We have people with like Neuralink implants in their brains. We have people with like fake body parts. Our good buddy Alex has like fucking titanium screws in his legs, and like, yeah,
It
like
can
that's
be
not
patient
doing.
zero.
Yeah, no, literally, like that's what's coming up. We will merge with technology, and we will become like android humanoids, and that's gonna enable us to live longer, go into space.
You and I will become androids.
Mm-hmm.
The
I
Trump
mean,
supporters don't get the tech.
yeah, no. It's not Christian. This bathroom is for full humans only, and this one is for humanoid components only.
Almost superior.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. Go pee outside
Sorry,
like a dog.
sorry, took the last microchip.
What is life? What is consciousness? Some might say that the simple like perception of everything is what makes life, which then one could argue isn't the phone that's listening and seeing what's going on alive.
I think, therefore, I hunty.
No rights for robots is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're not people, they're machines. Oh my god, am I saying this? And is this gonna get me killed in 200 years when like their AI overlords rule?
They cancel you post what is that? Posthumously?
Posthumously?
Posthumous postules?
I mean, I don't care if I'm already dead, but like, I
Yes.
don't want to be in line for my next like bionic eye, and then them being like, "Oh, you said in your podcast 200 years ago that robots weren't people, so you are denied for this." I don't know.
Mm.
You know,
Is it,
it's
wait,
interesting.
before we give you this eye, we'd like to show you some clips for this episode. Is this you? Well, it looks like you, so you are not getting a new eye. You will be euthanized.
The guy who got the Neuralink implant in his brain or whatever, he's so good at video games that he doesn't feel good competing against other people because like there is no reaction time. He just like fucking controls the screen, and
He's just too hunty for them.
yeah, literally. So no, yeah, to your point, like we will become cyborgs, and that's cool.
More cyborg action.
More cyborgs, less robots.
We don't need a plane if we're a cyborg. We can just fly ourselves.
Well, that's a little different, I guess. I think when I think cyborg, it's like components to the body. Transportation is something else.
If you have like your feet are made of jet fuel, then
Maybe. I don't know. We need like a
think about
cyborg expert to be a guest because yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of Android. Oh wait, that's not human. That's all robot.
Yeah, an android is like completely robotic. A cyborg is like part human, part robot, which again, anyone who has like a cochlear implant is basically a cyborg. Those amputees who have like limbs that are like controlled by their nerve signals or whatever, that's a freaking cyborg.
Is that racist?
No,
Okay.
nope, you can discriminate against cyborgs. They're not a protected class unless they're like cyborgs of color or a weird sexual orientation or gender identity or nationality or familial status. I would
Yeah.
never rent to a robot, let's just say. You can sleep on the streets.
If you have a fake leg, do not come knocking on the
No, I
mother.
did not say that. I did not say that. No, no, no. I will
Rakana
rent.
hates the disabled community.
I will not discriminate against a disabled person. I will turn around a robot. It's like, why do you need housing? Go talk to Elon Musk. You can sleep on the streets. You don't need a house.
Does Iowa City have those what are those things that deliver food to you in like a little machines that have eyes on them?
We don't have those, no.
I just picture you like ordering like food and then like you go out to get it, you take it, you thanks, and then you shoot the thing in the head.
I would never, because that's
You said
personal
you're racist
property
against
damage.
robots.
I did not say I was racist against robots. I'm saying it's okay to discriminate against them. See, like robots, the delivery robots, for example, are personal property of the company that owns them. And this is where it's so annoying that we live in such a litigious country because if I damage their robot, they will come after me, and I'm not risking that. Plus, I don't care. Thank you for the food, robot.
Why do these corporations care about their slaves?
Right.
Okay, we have to cut that part out. No
Why?
slave word. Jane, we can't use any of this.
It's okay to say slave. I say slave all the time. It's a term of endearment in some gay cultures.
That's true.
Not just gay cultures, like
You.
okay, this might be something to unpack in another episode, but the society will benefit from the acknowledgement of like dom subculture, but it's not racist, it's sexual, it's beyond sexual, it is I guess mental. I don't know, we need a psychologist guest to like help us
Yes.
explain this. Yeah, dom subculture is going to save humanity. It is going to change gender roles. It is going to, yeah, just be better.
Instead of like pup play, the pup will be made of metal and will be a robot.
That's not what I'm saying. No, the pup will always be flesh. Could be a cyborg.
I guess that's the whole point.
But I guess, yeah, maybe where do you draw the line? 50% biological, 50% mechanical. I don't know. Have you seen the James Cameron movie AI, Artificial Intelligence?
No.
So good. I saw that movie in 4th grade. It's the first movie that made me cry, like consciously as a person, and it is so good. Oh my god. But it's set in the future, obviously, and Haley Joel Osment plays this robot, and it's highly recommend. It's a very interesting film, and it makes you wonder things.
Haley Joel Osment has like had such a long career, which I didn't really think about, but that's crazy. He's in everything. Not
Right.
everything. He's doing comfortable.
Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about life and, perks of being a child star, I guess.
Do you like my haircut?
I love it. When did you cut it?
Yesterday.
Yes. You look a little blurry on my end, but I can tell you apart.
Yeah, sounds about right. We put pin curls in, so I have a little curl action going. Don't pay attention to
Oh,
this part. This was a mistake. But the rest,
good. Amazing. Keep growing. Keep growing it. I have a friend who is looking for hair donations for her artwork. She's doing like Swedish hair braiding or Norwegian hair braiding. I don't know. Some Scandinavian country that has like you make art with hair. So if you want to let go of 6 inches, she'll take it.
I don't think I'm doing that anytime soon. So I get a trim. So it's just kind of it's like a shrub, like a bonsai tree.
I feel
I
that.
know.
All good, just asking. I was gonna wear my wig today,
Oh,
my real human hair wig, and then I put it on and it didn't look good. So
who the fuck was it? You telling me that I should make wigs? Because
uh
Isaiah told me that like last week, and I was like, I feel like I just had this conversation with Ricardo about physically making a wig. He was like, "Oh, you just sew in the track one by one. It's like how you do your pine needle basket weaving. Like it'd be good for you." I'm like, I like it being sloppy, but that's not a very good business model.
yeah, I don't remember if that was me, but I say it's right.
Like one weft at a time, that would take forever.
Now there's a difference between like making wigs from scratch, like you buy the hair and you like sew them onto the cap, and like styling wigs for like drag queens, for example. Because
Correct.
those, like, you buy the wig and then you just like process it, like
Yeah.
you whatever style it and then like super glue it together so it doesn't move. Like there's a difference. It is an art. If it's something that interests you, for sure pursue it. But I mean, what happened to your basket weaving? I think that's much more fun than making wigs.
I know. I'm gonna pick it back up soon now that the weather is getting crunchy and I have an excuse never to leave the house.
I'm making a giant turkey leg.
Out of paper mache. Your paper mache skills are so gorge.
I'm Mexican. That's like our thing.
Oh, really?
Hmm. Yeah,
I didn't know
paper arts
that.
are big in Mexico. Like,
You invented it?
uh, no, but I'm perfecting it.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't mean you personally, but sure. I
Oh,
believe you.
no, no, no. I don't think Hispanic Mexican culture invented paper mache, but we're definitely like that's like a staple of like handcrafts down there. Like,
Mm,
lots of Day of the Dead like decor is made out of paper. Because I think the Chinese culture was like the first one to like really fuck with paper because they invented paper, I guess, like for real. And the rest is history.
yeah. That looks so good.
So it is actually a functional item. So obviously not finished. It's a microphone holder. So
Oh,
the microphone goes in here, and then it looks like I'm talking to a giant turkey leg. So
you're Miss
hello.
Turkey Leg 2024.
I am. And this is actually due on Monday because I told my office social media girly that she could borrow it for the videos. This was my idea.
Oh,
And then I'm
yeah.
gonna use it for my videos. So
You said it's a functional object as well. I was like, for like, it looks like something that like if you're making a movie, like the like housewife would hit her husband over the head with it when they live in their cave.
I mean, it is a prop. It could be used for that. I don't know that I want people hitting people with it because it's so fragile.
Did you sand it down?
No, this is paper towels.
It looks smooth.
It is smooth. It's turkey smooth. Look at
Wow.
look at that hole. So
That's
the
cool.
microphone goes in here, and I need to like coat this with like foam for sound insulation.
Mm-hmm.
But ideally, it looks like this in like you know, blah blah blah, clear audio. Yep, that's what I'm working on now. It's my current art project.
Little Miss Turkey Leg 2024.
I have a list of mic holders that I want to make, and that was the first one. And I prioritized it because of Thanksgiving week. That's why it is due tomorrow. But you can expect My mic holders, a giant key, a giant candy cane for the Christmas season, a giant lollipop, a taco slash burrito, a fishtail, and a pickle.
Oh, a fish? That'd be really funny.
Yeah, so that's my list of mic holders that I am crafting out of paper 2025.
The pickle would be great for Miss Pickle 2025.
You are so correct. Okay, that is
That'd
coming
be a
up.
good video for your TikTok. Doing street interviews for the Miss Pickle pageant.
Yes. Oh my god. Miss Pickle. Pride 2025 is going to be the best. We're going to have 2 stages.
Do you have the headliners?
Not yet. No. They're booking now.
Really? That's so exciting.
Yep, it is
I saw
exciting.
they announced like the thing for like Coachella. I was like, you announced that already? That's like 9 months away. No?
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
No, it would be
Maybe.
like 6 or 7 cuz Coachella's in the summer. Well, I guess that is 9 months from now.
Which is also crazy to me. Like you're having Coachella in the summer in the desert. What's not clicking? What's not clicking?
I know, climate change. You know what we should add to our list of goals? We should go to Burning Man.
Oh, true. It's kind of a flop now, though. No.
No, I mean that's good. That's good for us because like all the posters are not going anymore because they got scared by the mud. I have a friend who went last year or this year, I guess. Dude, when I was in PV, I met like 3 people who had been to Burning Man like 5+ times.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they were all over 60, and they all loved it.
Love it.
My friend who
Jerry
went this year,
Matthew.
he's like 73.
Jerry Matthew goes to Burning Man every year.
Who's that?
She's my favorite Survivor contestant. Friend of the pod, Jerry
Oh.
Matthew.
Does she watch? Hey,
No, she
Jerry.
doesn't know who I am.
Oh,
I wish she did though.
she will someday. Now that you mentioned.
She was in like she was a music video girl in the 90s and then she was a private chef in the 2000s and now she lives on a vineyard in the middle of the vineyard because she used to be a wine tour guide.
Oh my god. We love a wino.
Love Jerry.
It's got to be sloppy.
Sloppy. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll try to make sure it's really sloshy and sloppy and
Yeah.
sticky and juicy and
Yeah.
squirty.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What's your favorite human bone?
I do like a skull, but I would also really love a pelvis bone.
That's a big one.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
it looks like a bicycle seat.
I'm like a bird. I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
fly
fly.
away.
I love those horse memes on TikTok. I'm like a bird. And it's like a horse running in an open field. And the caption is like me free bleeding into the toilet while I'm on my period because that makes the pain go away. It's a horse galloping.
That song reminds me of COVID when we watched the Drag Race finale on Zoom.
Yeah. That went so hard.
It did.
My
It
God.
did. That was crazy.
That took me out. That took me out to pasture.
We talked about that forever.
That took me to the glue factory.
Sticky. Bro, that was like 5 years ago almost.
I know.
What closing remarks do you have?
I'm like a bird. I'm gonna fly away.
Well, wherever you're flying, I'm also like a bird. I'm gonna fly away to the south. I'm snowbirding.
For winter.
Uh-huh. I'll see you in Mexico next.
Yes. Mexico, here we come.
I'm like a bird.
Be safe, Day.
Yep, I'm going to the land of female presidency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
All right, well, say goodnight, Rick.
Good night, Rick. Good night, Dan. You enjoy, and I'll talk to you soon.
Oh, you will. Bye.